Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Twinless, and this is a new comedy drama coming from writer, director, and star James Sweeney, who previously did the film Straight Up, and here this tale focuses on two grieving men bond in a support group for individuals who were twins and lost their twin and form an unlikely friendship. And this film it has this very specific feeling of, you can feel this like indie comedy dramedy vibe for sure that Sweeney's going for here, and it's a very similar tone to his previous film Straight Up, but it just works so perfectly in how he's able to layer in that comedy, layer in those moments of levity in a film that's dealing with some serious themes. We're dealing with loss, grief, guilt, because it's very interesting where we see these two men. Sweeney plays Dennis and Dylan plays Roman, and Dylan O'Brien plays Roman. You have Sweeney, who Dennis is not exactly the easiest person to like. He's very judgmental. He needs to be right all the time, but you feel the insecurity and the emotion and the guilt because how he winds up in this situation connecting with O'Brien's Roman, it's a pretty dark twist. And I think Sweeney, the filmmaker, is able to do something really special here in terms of setting up this film in the first act and then laying on a flashback that recontextualizes this whole entire dynamic. Dennis can't help but lie all the time, and it's frustrating, and him as a character, he's hard to like, but Sweeney's able to just layer in that right amount of empathy where we connect with this very flawed and very traumatized person. He's been through a lot. He witnessed something terrible. And now he's trying to connect with Roman, and there's a lot of lies that Dennis is telling, and some of them are really bad. But we have this very authentic and genuine connection that happens between Dennis and Roman, and I think Dylan O'Brien does a fantastic job because Roman has this anger, this frustration boiling underneath the surface, and he sells this physicality when he snaps. He sells the deep emotional turmoil of Roman in a few moments where he just lets it all out. And also, you see O'Brien play Rocky, his deceased brother, for a bit, and he's very different. Very much a gay man, and just the performance is completely different. These are two completely different people, but both feel so authentic, and his chemistry with Sweeney in either situation really works, and their whole dynamic. And there's a few other layers thrown in there as Roman is struggling and trying to find connection and falls for one of Dennis's coworkers, played by Aisling Franciosi, and her character Marcy. I love this character because she is very sweet, she's very kind, but she's strong. She doesn't lay down. She sticks up for herself and has a firmness to her that really is impressive, and I love her dynamic with O'Brien. You have Lauren Graham, who plays Roman and Rocky's mother, who is self-absorbed at times, and her and Roman have the same kind of just pent-up, lashing out energy, and their interactions really nail it. And she has a dark sense of humor as well. I love how this story is framed and told. We have this build-up. We buy into Dennis and Roman as friends. Maybe Dennis wants to be a little bit more than friends with Roman, but then it whisks us back to this flashback that changes everything. And sure, there might be moments where it's like, did they get over some of these things a little too easy? But it all leads up to such an impactful, perfectly written final scene that just pulls all the thematic elements and threads together in such an impactful and poignant and emotional way. There's a little moment where O'Brien really sells his performance with his reaction to something that Dennis says. And this story of trauma and grief and guilt and getting over that and finding connection again is so inspiring and impactful. This film perfectly balances really good humor and really challenging emotional depths that puts you into this story with these characters and really sends you on a ride. And this film has a concept that should have been a trashy aughts comedy of guy, fakes having a twin to get close to this man because of a connection he had with his dead brother. And all of those elements, but here it's dealt with such respect. And Sweeney does such a great job of pulling this all together, whether it's on the page, behind the camera, or in front of the camera. It all works so well. And this is such a emotionally impactful and poignant film experience that is certainly one you don't want to miss. But those are my thoughts on Twinless. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.